But didn't Tariq Nasheed and Lord Jamar say that hip hop was born out of James Brown and rapping had existed prior to even Coke La Rock, though?
I don't know all about that. I mean, that isn't that subjective? Can that be proven? I mean, okay, so they'll show a clip of some guy who rapped who's black from the sick. Does that mean that created hip hop from that?
I
Just
think they
because
even
did?
got clips from the 40s or something like that.
Let's say somebody from the 40s is the first guy who rapped or danced. That means it was created with that guy breakdancing because he did it. That's the creation. You can say he's the first guy that did it. Does that mean that in 1978 there wasn't a Puerto Rican guy breaking with a black guy in the corner when nobody knew what hip hop was? What does the foundation even mean? The first year? Before? In the womb?
So that's what
Or the first 5 years?
I will agree with you on that. I think that there needs to be more specific, like what exactly are we talking about counts.
Why are you even trying to shit on Latinos in the first place? I never thought I would see a day where that kind of energy would come. I always thought it's just me. I mean, I always saw Latino rappers get treated like white rappers, but I never thought from the whole culture spectrum, DJing, like this narrative would come. It's a crazy, fucked up narrative. It's not bringing nobody together. It's very divisive, right? Whatever the word is, it's dividing. It's not.
I'm not
Not
gonna lie to
helping
you. I
anybody
am
in hip
kind of
hop.
surprised that this day came too, though.
It's not helping nobody in hip hop, and I don't think this is going to somehow make things better because you got guys like Pete Nice, who's from the hip hop museum, and he can't even get the history right. He's only getting selective history right. So that just shows me that the people who are trying to get history right, they get selective history right. They're not going to get everything right. Because Pete Nice didn't know that, he didn't even mention that I helped Cage, but brings up Cage like he's the one that helped Cage. But he didn't fucking do shit for Cage. I'm the one totally that helped Cage in the beginning properly. Like he never put a Cage album out, and he just put Cage on a song. That's it. The Cage album never dropped on Pete Nice's album, on his label. So my whole point is he's part of the hip hop museum. It just shows that they pick and choose what they want to give love to. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's all done by humans. So how do we know who really knows what? Everyone has. Listen, I see one video with Kaz totally sticking up for Latinos, then another video where he's not. So how do we know now when a guy like Kaz is saying two different things?
Well, they're saying the same thing about Melly Mel because they're saying
yeah, him too.
In Microphone Check, he said this is black culture. And then you saw him put out that video defending Fat Joe, and he says, no, it's Bronx culture.
That too. It's very nuanced. But I don't even like the argument to try to like shit on Latinos because you obviously didn't document shit well enough. So if you're so stupid that you didn't document shit well enough, meaning you didn't totally from day one, you understand what I'm saying? Document it like the way crypto was documented online on ledgers from the first day Bitcoin was given. But back then they didn't document it perfect. And for everybody to feel that, I don't know if I agree with 50-50. Maybe it was 75-20. Maybe it was 80-20.
But that's the revisionist history, though, that people are mad that Joe is pushing, though, because they're saying that it was born out of just black culture, and Joe is changing it to say it's 50-50.
Hip hop is different than merengue and James Brown funky. Hip hop included everybody, in my opinion. Hip hop was different. Yes, a lot of the Latino crowd, people in Latino neighborhoods might have been about merengue and all those older people. And then you might have had a lot of black people older into James Brown. But the younger kids, the youth that were coming up, there was always a Latino in the group of blacks. Just for that. But the black Latinos were there. I agree, though, that the majority is black because you can see that. But that doesn't take away from the racism against whites and Latinos. It's two different arguments. Here's what I'm saying. There's two different arguments. I agree with some of the FBA arguments, but a lot of the FBA arguments that I see is just shitting on white people and Latinos altogether. And Tethers saying that Cool Herc is not even down. You agree with that? You actually rock with the whole Africa Bambaataa, Grandmaster Flash, and Cool Herc are tethers. So they're not part of the origination. I'm asking you, do you agree with that? It's a yes or no question.
No, I don't
I
know,
don't. I don't. I don't agree with that.
I don't know, man. It's a tough thing, man. It's a
But
really
you
hard
agree with it or
thing.
not? Listen, it's what your heart believes. If you believed it was true, you would be like, yes. I
It's
think it's bullshit.
hard.
I think that's bullshit.
It's hard because all we've been taught from very early on was like African Bambaataa, DJ Kool Herc. That's the start of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, and in a lot of people's eyes, these guys are black. But then now there's, it's getting changed now where it's like, no, you are Caribbean. You're not.
Okay, here's my problem. FBA, when they talk about it online, I don't know who FBA is. It could be kids. I don't know. Whoever talks online talks as if everything is stolen from black and that's it. I don't like that narrative. That seems to be the Tariq Lojamar narrative. Okay, here's the narrative I like. Define exactly what everybody did and give them their credit for hip hop. Hip hop is way bigger than just black people only and not giving love to all other races. Okay, that's my opinion. If you're a black FBA and you agree with them, you're going to be like, no, it's only ours. If you say that, then I can say basketball is only ours. Electricity is only ours. If you're just going to claim that it's only yours and da da da, then you can't have anything that we created, which is stupid because we're all humans. So here's what I'm saying. If you want to say blacks invented hip hop, but whites brought it to the forefront with their business, Latinos brought breaking and certain other things to the forefront. Because you have to understand, when you go back to the Crazy Legs days, 81, 83, hip hop was not mainstream. So that's still the foundation. You can't, oh, the foundation is only 73. Nobody knew it existed. It was not called hip hop in 73, right? So you're talking about something that wasn't anything, and you're saying that you invented it all. But obviously Crazy Legs is very important in the development of hip hop becoming known because of his breaking skills and him being in movies. Okay, so
But I don't think that you can dispute contributions along the way from white people being the business, Puerto Ricans and
it is
Latinos.
disputed. It is. Nobody gives
No,
credit
no,
to
no.
that.
They're talking about the creation, the literal inception, right? So you, like you said, the
Okay, so
literal
I'm going to
inception
ask
is
you. I'm going to ask you something that I have not got an answer yet to.
right.
What about Mike Viner creating Apache? What does that mean? That Kool Herc took his creation from a white guy and used it as the b-boy anthem. What does that mean? Are
Well,
you
isn't that
saying that a black
sampling?
man can steal a white guy's record and the white guy has nothing to do with hip hop?
Well, sampling has been a part of hip hop, right? So
And
that's
a
what you.
sample was created by a white guy too. And the turntables. So what are we saying here? You're just shitting on everybody who created all these parts of hip hop because they weren't the ones that did certain things with it. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that the first people weren't black, but you're not giving any dap to anybody else. Is my problem. Like it's just shitting on everybody else, whoever it could be. So Sal, the Italian guy from the Fever, who's responsible for probably all the early hip hop jams that made it into a club. He doesn't. Sal had nothing to do with hip hop being what it is now. Fuck that guy because he's an Italian. Like he's erased from hip hop. I would think, doesn't that guy, shouldn't he get respect as one of the first dudes that platformed hip hop for it to become big? Way before it became known around the world, when nobody
But
knew shit about hip hop.
wouldn't that be a contribution? That's not the creation, though, right? That helps springboard
So
hip hop. And
so who created the venue? So who created the venue? Who created venues? who created. So you're saying that every concept of grabbing a microphone and getting on stage was created by blacks? So that
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this
I
is
just don't
the
understand
argument.
this stupid argument. I agree that FBA, if you're talking about foundational blacks, get a high percentage, okay? Not 100%. For it to be 100%, you would have to be there from day one. Personally be there from day one. And nobody knows what day one is. You don't know what day. You tell me right now. I'm asking
I
you.
don't know because I wasn't there.
No,
So
even
yeah.
even if you were there, what's day one? Coco Rock can't tell you what day one is.
Right.
Nobody can tell you. How can Tariq know what day one is? All he's doing is interviewing people. The fuck does he know about day one? How does he know? Nobody knows. That's the point. You don't really know because you didn't document it. There's no documentation. It's not like Bitcoin, where you can go back to that year and look at a ledger. So it's speculative. It's up for interpretation. So I'm saying 90% blacks, both Tether and FBA, because I don't like the idea of shitting on what they call tethers, because that's crazy. Because we don't know who was Jamaican and who wasn't, and da da da. 90% that, no, 85%. 10% Latino, definitely were there. Maybe with one guy in a crew with 8 black guys, but he was there doing his thing. Less influential as blacks because most of his culture is merengue and other shit. You understand what I'm saying? But that Latin guy who was down, he was the guy who chose hip hop. That's where his heart was. You get it? So I think that's what Fat Joe wants credit for. I'm not agreeing with the 50-50 thing because that I don't have proof with. But I understand what Fat Joe means. Fat Joe is sticking up for Latinos who constantly get shitted on in hip hop because he's fully aware that most Latinos can't get signed. He's always known that. It's only been him, Pun, Gerardo. Everyone else is underground. So,
See, we can go into a different conversation with that now because a lot of people say that Joe has suppressed other Latinos from being able to make it because he wants to be the main guy.
Okay, maybe so. But the point is, how does Joe have that power in the first place then? Like, why can't you do what I did then? I mean, Eminem suppressed me, but I still have 500,000 online now, and I still own all my masters, and I still have fans right now. So, do you see me crying that a certain rapper suppressed me specifically? I might tell you about Eminem or whatever, but that's not one of my key talking points. I talk about the whole hip hop being racist. Like, I think certain rappers should talk about the whole industry being racist. Now, I can't speak on what Joe personally did because I'm not in that circle. And I get you, or certain people say that Joe did certain things. But I think it's bigger than the people, than just one man fronting on people. It's the whole industry mentality that fronts on Latinos. Because if everyone else believed in Latino rappers, it wouldn't just be Joe that could fuck it up. Like Eminem ain't the only reason. He's part of the reason that a lot of white kids got shitted on. But all those other people believe it. Because think about it. You got to be a cornball if you're asking Eminem if you should sign Necro. You have no clue if I'm dope or not. So you need to go ask him. And that's what a lot of these fucking people in the labels probably did. They probably weren't sure if I was dope or not. You know, and you probably got people like that with Latino rappers. They might ask Joe or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But in the end of the day, like, listen, there's points you have that are correct and some aren't. It's debatable. But as far as what I was saying, 85% FBA and tethers, at least 10% Latino, and at least 5% were white boys that were there. Guys that wrote on the wall, all the inventors of a lot of the breaks that were used, just a lot of white people. Give at least 5. Listen, if you gave 5%, then I would know that you're not being a piece of shit. The fact that you just wanted dead all white people from any of the contributions, like Rick Rubin, like anybody who's white gets no credit. Fuck that, bro. That's stupid, man. You know what I mean? I think that's fucking stupid. I'm saying, you want to claim 100% and not give any credit to anybody else. And I
But I
disagree with it.
think that again, we need to go back to what is the definition of the creation, right? Because is it just like literally 1 year, or are we
It's
talking
stupid.
about
Listen,
the first 10 years, or like
listen. Yeah, well, that's one thing, but it also gets stupid because then somebody's going to say, "Oh, Mike Viner is biting black artists. That's why he made such a dope track." You know, so it's like, all right. So in the end of the day, you just want to say the black man created everything, and we're just biting everything. So we should bow down to you because we never did anything before based on skin color. See, this is why it doesn't make any sense. I'll explain to you. There's some dude who's going to post online that he's an FBA guy, right? And he's going to say, I'm a piece of shit that has no right to do hip hop. But then I'll respond back, well, where's your hip hop, motherfucker? Where's your dope page? Where's your rap on Spotify? Where's your step? Then they won't have nothing to respond back to. So this dude who just has black skin on him thinks he's more official to hip hop than I am. When I actually dug for beats and made dope beats and got respect and I put in massive work. So you're basically shitting on me just based on skin color. And so I just think it's kind of crazy because now you're saying only a certain people of a certain color totally 100% originated everything. And if you're not the color of that I am, you're a piece of shit, basically, and a guest, and bow down. So it's
so
like,
let's go.
what? So no. So listen. So what if the dude that made basketball took that fucking mentality? It would be kind of stupid, right? Wouldn't it be dumb? Like, are you serious? This kid over here, this black kid, is incredible. Nah, but he's biting our shit. So he has no business doing it. Only Larry Bird can do it. And then with electricity, you can't use electricity. You can use other things, but electricity is only for us to use. Uh, Here's what I'm saying. It's like the narrative has not only just been who created it. It's also shitting on us saying that we have no business doing it. That's the energy that I see from the comments of people that are claiming that side. So it's not really only about one thing. It's also about saying that we're not the real thing, like you're
There's
fake.
layers to it. I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So what I'm saying is, like, it just, I don't know. I can't agree with it because I know where I come, my heart. You know what I mean? But I give credit to people I love. Who influence me. You know what I mean? I'm influenced by Metallica and I'm influenced by Cool G Rap. So people are gonna talk shit. Oh, here's some heavy metal shit. Nah, I am what the fuck I am. I'm a Jew from Brooklyn who grew up in the projects, who grew up on metal and hip hop. I'm influenced by Cool G Rap and Metallica. You get Necro. If you don't like fucking what it is, don't listen to it. If you're only gonna like Kendrick because he's from Compton, and that's your reason, then go fucking do it, man. It's your ears. You decide what you're gonna listen to. I'm thankful that I got 500,000 people that fuck with me. You understand? Because I was able to get those people. It was very hard to get those people. You have to convince people. Why would people take my back?
Right.
Why would I have 500,000 people that fuck with me? Is it because somebody co-signed me? No. Is it because I had major label money? No. I'm not releasing soft, catchy shit. It is catchy, but it's not like G-Eazy commercial type shit. It's hardcore. So how do I get hardcore music with no funding behind it to be loved? Because it's got to be fucking good. So I will only believe when you talk shit about me that you're fucking fronting on me because of my skin color. There's no other
Okay,
fucking reason.
so what are you gonna say to people that are gonna say that your close proximity to black people doesn't entitle you to be able to create hip hop music?
I don't understand the question.
A lot of times people will say things like, "Oh, you grew up with black people, right? Your close proximity to growing up around black people doesn't entitle you, like doesn't give you entitlement to be able to say the N-word or to create hip hop music." And you saying that you grew up in the projects.
That's stupid because that's stupid. That's stupid because then you could say somebody black doesn't have a right to go to Harvard, right? Can't you say the same exact thing? This black kid can't go to Harvard because he's not white. What gives him the right to be smart? So what gives me the right to be good at hip hop? Well, I grew up in the fucking projects. I'm a product of my environment. Thank you, third base. I'm a product of my environment. So you're saying that doesn't matter? Think about how stupid you must be to say that somebody who's a product of their environment shouldn't do hip hop. Right? You got to be a dumb fuck, like a hating racist fuck to say that. I can understand if you say that to somebody who's not from the grain, like, yo, that guy's fronting. But if you're from the grain, how is it my fault? You're mad that I'm influenced by shit? So you're influenced by shit too. You're gonna tell me that every black human on earth only is influenced by black things? So then where did you get Wu-Tang? So is Wu-Tang not appropriating Chinese culture? Technically? I'm asking you.
I mean, no, I totally understand what you're saying. Like, absolutely.
Why is it okay for Wu-Tang to incorporate Chinese culture, but I'm not allowed to do hip-hop? Why is it okay for Cool G Rap to do Mafia, but I'm not allowed to be thugged out?